Welcome back, my friends. My name is Eric. This is Rome, and we're back with some more Star Citizen. So, I was in game the other night, and there was a gentleman complaining that, complains may be a strong word. He had bought a starter pack, and he had a 20,000 SAEUC, and he was really struggling figuring out how to make money and how to do anything in the game. And of course, there was a fair amount of get good noob or just ignoring him or whatever. You know, I suggested that he should probably have done the tutorial because the tutorial makes you some money and gives you some free stuff. Of course, that's after the fact, right? How would he know? So what I've decided to do is I'm creating a fresh account right here. We're creating a brand new account. I got a new little logo up there. Calling this one the Roman Legion. Kind of proud of that. And we're gonna purchase a starter pack. There's going to be no real money put into this account beyond the initial starter pack. That's it. That's all we're going to do. And we're going to spend $60 or less on the starter pack. So these two out, even though I love the Intrepid. This is one of my favorite ships in the game. Even though I know we could make some pretty serious money fairly quickly with the Salvager at $63. But it's normally $75. It's just, you know, a deal there. Now, both of these come with some additional stuff. So I don't want to put you off on either of these accounts. This one's going to come with some paint and with some clothes, which actually for salvaging can be just fine. You don't need to be going outside if you're salvaging. So lifetime 40,000 SCU, the download, right? Eventually to load here. The hauler. It's not really a hauler. This is a bad hauler starter pack. I mean, it's fine. You're going to also get the Intrepid. You're going to get some paint. Once again, you're going to get some clothes. You're going to get your 40,000 SCU. The Intrepid is actually a very cool ship. It does get you 8 SCU, and it has a size 4 cannon and a couple missiles. I like this ship quite a lot. Like I said, this is one of my favorite ships in the game. But it's over our $60 price. So we're going to go without it. We're going to wait here for this to come up. And again, normally it's $80. It's on sale now, so it is what it is. So that gives us either the Mustang or the Pisces Expedition or the Generalist. Since we're here, of these, this one's probably, this is really good, but you're almost up to $100 here. I like the Nomad. In fact, I did a video of the Nomad starting there. I didn't edit. There was supposed to be a beginning, but I decided I didn't like it as starting from the account I was in. I thought that was left too much room for cheatiness. This is a great ship with, I want to say, 24 SCU. This is a good package. This, if you want to just fight, is a pretty decent package. But I think the fights you can handle, especially if you're starting the game early, are going to be limited to such low levels that while you can make some consistent money with it, I think you're probably going to get bored. Realistically, this is your best starter pack. This is it. But it's $125, right? So, I mean, this is a Cutlass Black. It doesn't come with any clothes. It only comes with 10,000 SC UEC. But it does come with a Cutlass Black, which has 4 size 3 guns, a bunch of missiles, plus a turret, and 46 SCU. This is a great ship. This is a great pack, but it's $125. So we're going to go out of it. I'm not sure that you should spend $125 on a game that you don't know you like yet, that's in alpha. I don't think I can recommend that. You can buy a Cutlass Black in-game after buying one of these others if it's something you like. So let's start with the Generalist here. I don't know that this is a Generalist. I think this is a good courier ship. The bonus to the cutter, again, you get 10,000 SEC and the cutter. And the cutter itself only has 4 SCU. It's got 2 size 2 guns and 2 missiles. So maybe you can handle the very, very basic combat missions. I mean, you could. But the benefit to this is, A, I like the door. I like the look. And it has a bed in it. I believe that's the benefit. Does it say it has a bed in it? Dual repeaters, onboard accommodations. So it's got a bed. So you can bed log in this. You don't have to go back to a station to log out of the game. Wherever you are, go into space. You have to get out of a planet's well. You have to be in space, but then you can log right there. So it might save you some time here and there while you're playing. But again, for SCU, it's fine. It's fine. I got it with the set stuff. The ships we're talking about, it's going to come down to personal preference. I like it. I think it's a cool ship. I have a friend that started with it. Let's go to the cheapest one. This is the Mustang. Now, the Mustang also comes with 10,000 UEC. And if we click on here, and it's a cool looking little ship. The wings fold down. It's got some nice little nose guns, which will be useful for how I'm probably going to start the game. Also for SCU of cargo. Yeah. Not a bad little one. Now, 2 size 1 guns is all. And well, I take it back. It has a turret with 2 size 3 and it has 2 size 1s. That's enough to do some of these basic starter combat missions. In fact, this is the ship you'll be fighting against a lot of times in those. So as long as you're better than the AI, you'll be fine. I don't remember what the inside of this one looks like. We can see in there, it might have a bed in it. It's been so long since I've flown a Mustang. It might also have a bed. What does it say? Optional auxiliary for SCU, courier jobs. Can we tell if it has a bed? I don't think so. I think the cargo is there. I'm not going to take it. I probably should, in the interest of making this game as cheap as possible. But I'm going to go with a ship that I like a lot. That's a tiny bit more expensive. It doesn't really make a difference for how I'm going to start the game, I don't believe. I just like it. So I'm going to go with this. This is the Seeker Starter Pack. It comes with a C8X Pisces Expedition, 10,000 UEC. I don't know why I want to say SEC. 6 months of insurance. Don't worry about the hangar. The hangar doesn't mean anything at the moment. It used to. Maybe it will again one day, but at the moment, this doesn't mean anything. The important thing is it's a ship, it's some money, it's got some insurance. Insurance doesn't mean anything in the game right now. Everything is insured forever. So don't get hung up on that to start with either. When the game is live eventually, or maybe sometime in alpha, right? Because insurance is a mechanic. I expect to see it sometime before we go to beta. But at the moment, it doesn't mean anything. Gives you the game, gives you the money, gives you a ship. The ship itself, the C8X Pisces Expedition, can handle 3 crew, doesn't really have 3 crew. It's got 1 crew and 2 jump seats. So you can take 2 friends with you. It's got good range. It only has 4 SCU of cargo, but that's the same as what we've been seeing. The 2 jump seats. And then it has 2 size 1 laser repeaters, 2 size 1 laser cannons, and 2 size 1 missile racks. So realistically, this might be the worst of the ships we've looked at because it has the least amount of guns. Everything's size 1, right? It's got no bed, and it has 4 SCU. It's small. They're all small. It's got reasonable range because it is the Expedition. That's about it. That's the only benefit I can say to this one over the others. Realistically, the best one of this group is probably the Toaster. We'll wait for it to come back up here. It's probably the Generalist, right? Because it has a bed. That's really the only benefit to it. Now, again, you can spend a little bit more money if you want to mine. Mining is can be a little bit expensive to get into doing well. I think you could do it. It's definitely there. I'm not sure I think it's a great starter. I think if you want to get into industry as a starter pack, go with the salvager. Salvaging is a lot easier. It also now includes some refining because of the new salvage mechanics. So you can get a little bit of that with this. I think this is an easier game loop than mining is. Mining is a deeper game loop though. So I say start with salvaging, then go buy yourself a miner, and then get into it once you've got a little bit of money. This is a really good ship for 85, but I would probably go with either the Duelist for 75. If you're not really worried about your initial outlay, the Avenger Titan is really good. A size 4, 2 size 3 guns, plus some missiles, plus 8 SCU. Again, unless cargo's your deal, in which case, definitely go with the Nomad. The Intrepid's probably right there with this one, with that 1 size 4 gun, but it only has 4 SCU of cargo. It does have a bed though. So I don't know, maybe right now this is the on sale. I don't want to just say it because it's my favorite, but this might be the best one right now for $68 because it is cheaper, right? I think it's a crapshoot, but again, I'm going to go with this one, 60 bucks. We made our decision. We can buy one of those other ships soon enough if everything goes right. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the cart and I'm going to buy it. And I will be back once all that is done. One thing I forgot to mention while we were doing the initial bit is the best tip. Well, it's not the best, but a good tip I can give you is, at least to start the game, is to use a referral code. Pick your favorite YouTuber, whoever it may be, and use their referral code. This is mine right here. It gets you an extra 50,000 UEC when you start the game. And apparently maybe one day we'll get the Street Sweeper. I don't know. I think that's called the Raptor, and it was done as a joke and everybody wants it. Maybe it'll happen one day. Maybe it won't, but that's what that is. So that will get them some benefits. There's a new referral program that ultimately, you know, you can see, I think I got a suit of armor for this, like a medium suit. So it doesn't matter hugely on that account, but it is what it is. And then you can get some guns, you can get some vehicles, you can get some little stuff to hang up in your area. And eventually you can start to get some ships, right? This is a great ship. A Gladius is a great ship. There you go. The Misk Raptor, it is in the game. Well, I don't know if it's in the game, but it's a reward, whether it come out whenever. All the way up to and including in Idris, if you get 1,000 recruits. So potentially, you get quite a lot. There's a Vandal Scythe. I assume that's the Vandal one rather than the one you can purchase for the human market. And an Asparia Stinger. Only 200 recruits for that. So that's not a terrible level. I mean, that's still 200 people that have to see it, but it's not likely. But it's there. So use their deal. It's going to get you an extra 50,000. And that's the important bit. All right, we are in the game. Our first option is Persistent Universe or Arena Commander. If you would like to do a lot of space combat, I recommend, well, for any of them, honestly, this is a good way to learn the game. You can just do free flight. You can get used to flying the ship. So you can choose online or offline or some sort of custom version. You can pick any map you want, server, whatever. I happen to have, well, we have one ship. Any ship you happen to have, in theory, should be here. And you can see I've got my Pisces, or apparently it'll let me use this right here as well without having to do anything. Now you can earn REC, this is rental credit, and try other ships within here. So if we were to say, there's our ship, we could go here, we could pick this one, and this one has some ship customization apparently. We could change some coolers, we could do a few other things. So it is what it is. I'm gonna go select, there we go, there's my ship right there. You can see there's a loadout we could change potentially. I did buy a livery. You shouldn't, but I did because I like it. Save changes. So you can get in here and you can do some combat. Now there is some free flight. There are a number of other modes. You can see there's racing, there's squadron battles. One of my favorites is these pirate swarms and the endless vandal swarms. And if you beat these, then you can you get some opportunities. I don't want to say reward, kind of. You get the opportunity for a pirate swarm to buy a pirate Gladius or a pirate I always want to call it a Buccaneer, but that's a light fighter. It's a big cargo ship. Doesn't matter. You get the opportunity to purchase a couple ships. You're not getting it for free. You just get the opportunity to buy ships that other people generally aren't given the opportunity. I think in Vandal there's some option too. I haven't beat this one. You can see I haven't completed I haven't completed any of these in this one. But you can see there's some options. Now, I recommend just racing. Start racing. Try that to get better. Maybe a little free flight to get in control, then do that, and then maybe start working your way through some of these. There are some FPS things as well. The single weapon elimination, I believe in Gun Rush. I believe these are both, yeah, you can see FPS. So there's some options there for you. Recommend that you try that out. Get a handle on what the mechanics are before you go. But I'm going to jump right into Persistent Universe. I'm going to create a character really quick. I'm probably not going to spend a lot of time on this because you can change these whenever you want, right? So initially, I believe, are there some... actually, I might have mine on here. Let's see, review. Yeah. Here, we'll go with I have a male and a female character created. We'll go with her because I'm using the guy. These are pretty much the same. I just couldn't find one, and so because it saves them on the computer. And anyway, I created a new one and then I found and copied it over. So I got both of them. But we'll load her, and we'll run her for now. So we'll select her, but you've got a lot of options: hair, styling, makeup, all sorts of body type, all sorts of stuff. But I'm just going to go body type being male or female. But I'm just going to go with the character I've created in the past, just in the interest of time. And we are going to play the tutorial today. So we're going to select a system. I don't know which one I would I'm going to go with Stanton because it works for what I want to do. This is up to you. Pyro is essentially all of these systems have PvP. You can get ganked in any system or have legitimate PvP, whether that be, wars between corporations, piracy, anti-piracy, PvP bounty hunting. You can do all of that in these systems. But Pyro is meant to be a PvP free-for-all. That's its point. Stanton is meant to be more PvE cooperative play with the occasional PvP. And Nyx falls somewhere in between. There's not any FPS option. Well, that's not true. There is a Nyx, but not till you get a little bit later into the game. Initially, there's not going to be. So I'm going to start with Stanton. Your option. We've got apparently 3 options here. Orson is on Crusader. That's where the most recent IAE Expo thing was. They're kind of all luxury floaty cities and stuff. New Babbage is kind of an ice planet. And Lorville is kind of your industrial planet. I'm going to go with New Babbage initially. Just because I think it's brighter, it's nicer, it'll look better on YouTube. That's essentially it. Now, your next thing is your location, server location. Best, I believe, is going to get you the best ping. The rest is going to get you your country. There'll be a regional one. So, for instance, there'll be a West Coast one that'll try to put me on every time if I don't specify otherwise. If I just say USA, it's going to try to put me on the same server. Because if I've made differences to the worlds, it will remember those in theory. That's the idea. Your choice. It's a Monday afternoon in California. I'll go USA. It doesn't matter. One of the best reasons to make friends in the game, though, is that you can join them on their server. So if their server has a low population at the time, then you can join them on that. But your friends list won't show up till you create this initial place. So we're just going to pick one initially, and we're going to go good. We're going to go fine. And again, you can always change your character customization whenever you like. So systematic propulsion is the one it wants, is my default server. Now, this is a little bit weird term because it's not really a game server. It's going to call it a game shard when you get in the game, and then there's a handful of servers that cover different parts of the system. So X number of servers will be for the Stanton system, And maybe one of those will be for the Crusader area, and one of those will be for the Arc Core area, and so on and so forth. So it breaks it down. Each patch will give, maybe has a slightly different server load based on where events are taking place, in-game type of stuff, storyline types of things. Or like the expo, right? They obviously needed more server capacity to cover a big kind of show like an expo where they expect to have a lot of people there. So you might have a server just for the city of Orison, for instance, whereas before maybe it would cover the entire Crusader system. All right, before we do anything else, I'm going to turn off chat just in case something weird. The key is F12 to turn on and off chat. If you would like to open the, we're going to have some first steps here, exit bed. I'm going to show you, if you hit the tilde key, it's going to open this right here. If you type in display info equals 1 bracket bracket, open bracket, close bracket, right? It's going to give you a series of information here. Now there's additionally, there's a 1, 2, 3, whatever. You can see our FPS right now is 59. Our server FPS though is 10, right? So our server is really only updating things pretty slowly right now. It's not spectacular. We happen to have 540 people logged on to this shard right now, and 90 of them are on our server. So for whatever region this server covers, we've got 91 players. There's a bunch of other information you can get here. I'm going to hit tilde, and if you type the same thing in with a 0 instead of a 1, it will get rid of it, and then tilde to close it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the W key to stand up. You can also hit Y. Y will leave you from a seat, so we'll follow the directions there. And now we can look around using the mouse, and we can move back and forth. WASD. All right, so now we can check our journal. If we hit F1, it will open our Mobi glass. This is our little holographic watch, essentially, that opens stuff up. And I think they wanted us to check our journal, so we'll select Journal. Welcome to the verse. Now, I would like to point out this is our money. Again, we had 20,000 for our starter package, and we got 50,000 because we used a referral code. So our starting cash is significant. All right. 930 years in the future, where humanity is spread across the star, yada, yada. I'm on New Babbage, which is on a planet called Microtech, the 4th planet in the Stanton system. So we'll go ahead and close it now. Now we need to eat and drink, because if you see in the bottom left, survival mechanics, we do need to eat and drink. So if I hit F, I can now carry that. Normally you're going to pick something up, you're going to carry it, whatever it is going to be. I'm just going to go ahead and hit carry to start with. I know I could have hit drink right there. Now I'm going to hold down the left button to drink. If I just tap it, I'll just take a sip. I don't think there's any point. I'm just going to go ahead and down this. You see we got a little plus there. That means that we're getting slightly better hydration from this. I honestly don't remember what it's going to matter or not, whether it lasts a little longer or what. But now I'm going to use my left mouse button to place it down. There we go. And now it's gone. So now I'll go ahead and I will go ahead and I'm just going to pick this one up and eat it. Now, there are a couple different options for selecting stuff. I have it, now you can see our food's gone up. If we go to escape and we go to options right here, game settings, I think that's where mine is set. Mine's a little bit different than yours is going to be necessarily. Interaction mode. Mine is toggled, which means I hit F and it does it like that. I'll turn it here to no, because that's what it's going to be when you start. So now if I hit F, it'll just automatically carry. Whereas before it brought up an arrow and then put it down. And now I can do stuff. I'm going to go ahead and store it again. Oh, I don't want to store it. I'm going to hit I to my, I to go to my inventory. I'm going to right click. I'm going to carry. I'm sorry, it keeps flipping to that. And now it's in my hand again, and now I can place it. Now, if I want that menu wheel like I had before, I need to hold down the F button. And now you can see it gives me an option. And I'm just going to get out of it. All right, now we need to equip our helmet. Our helmet's over here. Now, I happen to be playing this in patch 4.4. 4.5, which we should see by the end of December, is going to include a physicalization of helmets, which means a helmet's a physical object. Right now, it's a graphic of an object, but it will change how they work. So I'm going to hold down the F button again, and now I'm going to say equip. I'm going to just move the mouse down there. And now if I hit F4, you'll see I'm wearing my helmet. I cannot eat or drink without a helmet on. So to take the helmet off, whoops, I can hit H. Is it Shift H? Alt H? I don't remember what it is now. Alt H. Takes my helmet off and puts it on my belt in theory. You can't see it, but hopefully we'll be able to after 4.5. And then now I can eat a drink, and then I can put my helmet back on. It doesn't put it down, it doesn't drop it. In theory, it's on your deal. F4, by the way, changes between your views. This is close third person. This is long first person. If you hold down the Z key, you can move the mouse and change it however you want. And then one more time takes us into first person. Tap F to open the door. We have exited the hab. We're going to take the elevator to the lobby. All of these places are physicalized in the world. You can look out into the world there. Be nice if you could look down over into the lobby a little bit better, but whatever. We're going to go to the elevator. We'll call the elevator up. And eventually it'll get here, and then we'll be able to change it. So just like we said before, we're going to hold down F. Now I've got an arrow, and I can move that wherever I want, and I'm going to select lobby. All right, and we are in the lobby of the Nest Apartments. So, a couple things here. This doesn't do anything for you at the moment. We can come over here. There was one of these in our little apartment. That's not your apartment. Think of it as a hotel room. I can hit F here, and this brings up my overall. Apparently, I've got one thing in my local storage, and it's a placeholder. So I don't know what it is, but this is how we open up our local storage. Now that is local to that city, right? So I won't be able to access that stuff on another planet or another city. It's only here. So if I want to take something with me, I need to take it with me. All right, we are in essentially a lobby area here. View area map. F2 will bring up your map. You can also just hit F1 and then select map. So we can see right here, here's our map, and I can hold down left to do it. There's the Nest Apartments. We are going to go, it doesn't show it as its own place. We're going to go over here potentially and buy stuff. But you can see here's our full map of the area. Oh, I got to view this map, sorry. This one right here. So, we are right here. You can see there's a Metro Loop access. Now it wants me to hit F2, but I've already done that, so it's skipped ahead. So you can see where we are. There's our nest, and then bottom right there is a little, I'm gonna hit F real quick. Whoops. Oh, I sat down, hold on. Forgot which mode I have on. Hold on, let me hold down F. There's where we slept. This is if you have a fine, you can pay it there, and we're gonna go here to get food here in a second. So we're gonna go here, and if we hold down Shift, we'll sprint. However, you can use the mouse wheel to slow down and speed up. So this is, I'm gonna hit F4 one more time. So this is our slow walk, and then we can go all the way up to here. If you do this, it does not tire you out. However, if you hold down Shift, I have it toggled, but you can set it to toggle or hold it down. It will eventually start to wear you out, and you'll see a little heartbeat kind of thing at the bottom. We're not wearing heavy armor right now, so it takes a while. But understand that if you just use the mouse wheel to go faster, it's not quite as fast as a sprint, but it's not going to tire you out. So we're going to use the shopping kiosk here. These are all things we can buy here at the kiosk. We've got guns. We've got a tractor beam. We've got food and drink. Remember, we do need to keep eating. And we're going to go right here. Oops. Except that dude just knocked us out of the way because he's a jerk. Or maybe we tried to get in there beforehand. So I'm going to back out because he apparently didn't want... We'll try this one. There we go. Most likely he was on full sprint. When people are on sprint, they can't control their character and they just run into everything because they're idiots. So we're here. It hasn't asked us to buy anything though. I'm going to go ahead and hit F1. I'm going to stand in the way of this and be a jerk myself. We can buy food and drink. Right? So I'm going to go ahead while I'm here. And I'm going to buy 2 drinks. I'm going to go to drink. And I would like to get a cruise. Whatever version it is. Cruise is good because it replaces food and drink. So you can see it is an energizing hydrating. But it gets me 48 to my hydrating. And then this is my food here. Which is 6. Whereas if we take a look at Cruise Dark, 38 and 30. So this one is even more nourishing. I think that's what it is. So let's go ahead and buy 2 of these. So I could just hit here and it will automatically quick buy it. I'm going to say here, and I want to put these in my core, which is my armor. I don't know if we have enough storage for this. We'll find out here in a second. I'm going to try to buy... Apparently I can't. All right, I'm going to buy them to New Babbage, which will put them in my local inventory. I think this is a bug with the deal here, not us. Drink. Cruise Dark. There we go. This patch has had some issues with these. Let me try and put it to my core again. Buy. I want to get 2 of them. Now we'll buy it, and it should go into my local personal inventory. I hit escape to get out. So if we hit I, you can see we now have 2 drinks. The reason for this is I'm going to hit Alt-H to take off my helmet, and we'll be able to see in the bottom right it says equip helmet, right? I'm going to go to I real quick here. I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to carry it. Eventually she'll take it out. I'm going to drink it. It's not going to do anything for us at the moment because we're already refueled, as it says right there. Right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click to store it. And if I select my inventory, you'll see I still have 2 at 100%. So as long as you have 2 or more and you just right click to store, it will restack it and refill it. So you just buy 2 and keep them on you all the time and you won't have to buy more. Apparently that dude wanted to check us out. People are so rude in this game. All right, now we are going to... It wants us to go to the Metro Loop. We're going to go there, but first I'm going to come here. My spawn is based here, at this planet, at this locale. We can come over here and check the map. All right, we got hospital floors. There's the exit. We would like to go to find the insurance place, which I think is here. If I go to an insurance and I go to here, hit F to start. Am I close enough? I had to hold F and then click it. It didn't want to let me do it. I can change where my regen location is. So if I'm going to add, you have to go to the place you want to change it to, then go to their hospital, their insurance, and then click it. Some ships have medical beds as well that you can save at as well. So right now we're going to leave ours here, but if we wanted to change that, that's where we would do that. If we die, we're going to come back to life here with a clone at a hospital bed here. If I would like to buy medical stuff, I can go here as well. We will want some later, but I'll hold off on that. We'll do more of the tutorial. So now I'm just going to run down here and we'll go to the Metro Loop. Each system has its own type of transit. And these are going to be trains that show up. We just happen to get lucky. Ours is here. We had a couple seconds before it left. You can see it leaves in 5 more seconds. If I hold down if I get close to here, you see now that little sit F shows up. I can now hit F, and I will sit down. I can sit down on the train like a normal person, instead of sprinting back and forth up and down, annoying everybody else like a 4-year-old. Now, it will also tell us how far we have to go. We've got a minute. I'm going to stand up. Now, this is a little bit sketchy. In my experience, this is the train that has the most problems. But we are now outside at night, which is a little disappointing because we can't really see anything. But you can see that is the space station right there. Sit back down since we can't see anything. I have had bugs on this that have just ripped me right out of the train car and left me on the tracks, unable to go anywhere. So, haven't had one in a while, but I haven't ever had that happen while sitting down, though, which is why I sit down. All right, so we're underground, and we should be approaching our station right here. And you can see New Babbage, interstellar spaceport with an arrow pointing the direction up to the spaceport. So now we're going to go up to the Fleet Manager terminal. These are called ASOP terminals. And we're going to take the elevator up. And we'll go to the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport, I think is what NBIS stands for. Now you notice we're getting tips on the right. I'm going to step out of the side here. Again, if I hit escape and I go to options, I can go down to hints. We've got control hints and hints. I believe these are control hints that it's showing on, sorry, those are hints there. Let me back out here. These are hints. Bottom right is control hints. I'm going to leave them all on for now because maybe something will pop up that I forget to say that will be useful for you. I usually leave the control hints on and turn off the basic hints. Sometimes you're somewhere and you don't remember what the code is, the command is, the control hints will tell you. And here we are. There's the city. Our apartment is down there. You can just see in the middle the train track that links up to everything. And there's another train track over there. And we can see ships fly in. This is all fully realized, actualized. Whatever we see through that window is what is actually happening. Hey there. So we're here. A Fleet Manager terminal's there, but I will give you a quick... Ignore the dead bodies. Again, you've got access to your local inventory here. You can buy stuff here. So if we want a Pico the Penguin plushie, I'm just going to hold down F. And in theory, we now have a Pico plushie in our inventory. We can also buy some food and drink here if we forgot and we need a snack before we get on the plane. And if we would like to rent a ship, we can come here and we can rent a ship. So you can see there's all sorts of ships that we can rent. We have the money right now to rent a combat interceptor. So if this was something I wanted to do, I could do that right now with just the starter cash that I have from using the referral code, right? That 50,000 would get me a rental. So no matter what I have. Now, this will, if we have a surface vehicle, dune buggy, a motorcycle, whatever, we could go up here and we could access that and we could drive around on the surface. Commercial flights, not a thing at the moment, doesn't lead anywhere. At some point, I hope, maybe as insurance gets in and they have a difference between an insurance claim and transporting vehicle, maybe you'll be able to just hop a flight to go somewhere else and not have to fly yourself. All right, I'm going to go around to the backside. We're less likely to be bumped. So here is our Fleet Manager, our ASOP terminal, and I'm going to hit F and retrieve a ship. It's only going to let me pull up this Anvil C8 Pisces. This is like the cheapest version of what I have, and you can see it's rented for 2 hours. I'm going to hit delivery. I'm going to hit request delivery. Now, I have it at the station. It was in limbo. It wasn't anywhere, but now it is stored here on this planet, and I can hit retrieve, and it will actually take it to a hangar. Pull it out of storage here, And hopefully, in a second, it's going to show me where it is. So we are at, it's at a small hangar. So now I can come over here to whichever elevator I want. Call an elevator. Walk over here and select my small hangar by holding down F and then clicking. Now these are a whoops, I was messy with volume. These are instanced. So this is just mine. If somebody rides down here in this elevator with you that is not in your party and does not belong, they should automatically get removed. It doesn't always happen. There are bugs, and there is also cheats that people have used to be able to stay. If they are in your hangar, you can shoot them. Most of the rest of the area we've seen is an armistice zone. You can't even pull your gun out of its holster. However, here, you can do whatever the hell you want. So if somebody gets in here, they might try to kill you to get your stuff. But I would say shoot. I'm not sure if they're allowed to or not, actually. I'm not sure what the rules are, but you can definitely shoot them. So be careful of that. Now, we happen to have in our inventory now a plushie. So I'm going to go ahead and carry this plushie. Right-clicked on him to select carry. Now you can see we're holding him. Right? So now I would like to place said plushie. Where do I want to put him? Let's put him right here. Oh, he fell off, but he squeaks. The problem is, I can't see where I want to place him. I'm trying to, you know what? We'll just put him next to our deal. There we go. So now in theory, he should stay there. Whenever we come back to our small hangar, he should be there. Our ship's right there. If we are here and we don't have a ship up or we want to change ships, you can see we have an ASOP terminal here. This will pull up spaceships, but also ground ships, because you might have a large ship and you want to load a ground vehicle on it. You can't pull the ground vehicles up from the ASOP terminal up in the space station unless you go to the surface access one. Now, this is another option here. You can see I've got ramp access and all that sort of stuff. If I hit escape and go to options once again, I can go down to ship entry labels. I can turn this off. So if you already know where they are and you just don't want them. All right, it shows the ship, it shows the hangar, but it doesn't show anything. It does say ramp access. Options. Is that broke? Let's turn it back on. Appears to not be working right now. It should have turned those off. We'll open the ramp by hitting F. Door opens. This is a base level Pisces. It's got 2 SCU of storage, so it can hold 2 essentially square crates on either side, or it can hold 1 kind of rectangular crate on either side. I'm going to go ahead and close the door here. This is the only entrance in this ship, and again we've got the 2 jump seats, similar to the one that we purchased with our starter package. Now, I can do this 2 ways. I can hold down F and hit flight ready, or I can do right Alt and R. We'll also turn it on. So we're going to hit, or there's our open the doors, or I can hit U to turn on everything except the engines, and then either flip the engine on or hit I. I'm just going to hit flight ready. You'll learn the commands as you go. Everything's on. I can hold Z to look around. So right here we have our power management. You can see it has the guns are off. I'm going to hold down F real quick so we can mess with these. This is our power management. Guns, engines, shields, quantum drive, that's like your warp drive, your radar, your, I forgot the word for it. Essentially your air and environmental controls. And then a cooler. I believe this cooler's on. There's just a bug that's, yeah. There's a bug right now that they don't show until you click it. This is off. Life support, there we go. This will be on soon, maybe next patch with engineering. Don't know. You're not going to have shields on and quantum. At the moment, the way the game is set up, if you have your quantum drive on, your shield must be off and vice versa. So we'll show how to flip between those. This doesn't have any guns, so it can't be on. This starter ship has 0 guns. We can add them, but because of that, we have 2 extra pips of energy output from our engine. I'm going to go ahead and put them into engine. There's no reason to have it off if we don't need it. So now we've got 2 ways to ask. We've got a few ways to ask for takeoff. We can come down here and change one of these MFDs, multifunction displays. And you can see we can flip between them. Here's all of our flight and our HUD options. And if we had guns, it would give you a gunnery option as well. These are your casts up there in the top left, and there'll be one on the right for a target if you have one. Change those as you want. Here, under communications, you can see we have the new Babbage International Spaceport, and we can click Hail here. We can also click Left Alt N. That will ask for permission to leave. Or we can go to our Moby Glass and we can go to communication comms, I think, here, and we can go to, I thought they were supposed to be there. Is it under no, it's contracts. Friends? International Spaceport right here. And we can click here. I'll click here since we're here. All right, now the door's opening. I'm gonna hit F4 so we can see what to do. I'm gonna hit the space bar to lift off. Space goes up, control goes down. Now I'm going to, once the doors are open, we can look around as the little basic controls go. Pilot the ship out. Now I'm just gonna hold the W button and we're going to fly out. Notice our speed changes as we go up and down. Now, there are a couple ways to do this. I have mine set up so that it has cruise control on, which means whatever I set it at, it will stay at. Let me move away from the station here a little bit. Now, if I hit N, it will raise my landing gear. You see that little red thing right there? That tells me my landing gear is down. And if I hit F4, you can see my landing gear is down. If I hit N, it goes up and I speed up. I have it set so when the landing gear's down, I automatically go a little slower. I'm gonna hit the X button to stop real quick. Where can I set those? I can either go into my options and go to controls. Is it under controls? Game settings? Maybe it's under game settings. I always forget where this stuff is. In here. I can change a lot of that stuff here, or I can hold down the F button and go back to these and play with them. So, for instance, right now I have cruise control on. If I turn cruise control off, now I hit the button. If you notice, my little speed icon here goes up and then turns off. It drops right back down because I don't have cruise control on. This is useful when you are flying in something called uncoupled mode. Coupled right now means the ship will automatically stop itself if I'm not giving it an option. Uncoupled mode means that once I hit it, it's going to continue to go in that until I give it a response in the opposite direction. I hit the brakes, thrusters pop where they pop, and eventually I'm going to stop. But it won't stop automatically. Now on a planet, it might do something because I'm on a planet and we have gravity and air and stuff. I don't think it will. But in space, which is what this is meant for, you hit the thrusters once, you're going to keep going until an equal and opposite reaction, right? Kicks you back. So it's up to you. The easier way to fly is with coupled mode on and cruise mode on. Then you just set it where you want. You'll have a lot more freedom though with coupled and cruise mode off as you get better with flying. I'm going to leave it this way because I think it's the best way to do it. I also have enabled slowdown on, gravity compensation, right? If I don't turn that on, I should fall to the ground. And you see, I am now falling to the ground. You see right there, that tells me which way I'm pointed. And now we can see my altitude dropping. That's going to depend on the ship and the aeronautics and how they build the flight model. I'm going to turn it back on. Now we're fine. Anything else? Space brakes, use your booster. So you have afterburner right here. If you hit X, it will use that to stop you as quickly as possible. You can turn that off so it just uses your normal booster. Now your rear engines are much more powerful than the engines pushing you backwards, right? You've got a main thruster in back, you do not in the front. So it's going to take longer to slow down than speed up unless you're using that booster. Speed limiter, headlights here we can turn on and off. You can't, there you go. I think that's about it. Is enable slowdown the one that slows us down? We open, let's speed up and then open the landing gear and see if it automatically slows us down.
Landing gear deployed.
It is not enable slowdown. Speed limiter. Hold on, let's go as fast as we can. Now let's turn off speed limiter. No, I had it right. I had it right. It was this one, right? Slow down. Yeah. I leave slow down on because I want to be able to maneuver easily while I am landing. Essentially what happens, if you hold down Alt and use your mouse wheel, you can see that number right there changing, 30 whatever. As you move WS whatever, it's going to change your speed by a percentage of what that is. So if our landing gear is up and we are at 220 and I tap it once, it takes me up to 17. If I set that to, let's say, 92 and I tap it once, it takes me to 5. So I can play with that, and that gives me a lot more fine control over my speed. Or I can just kind of leave this at the top, and when I'm maneuvering, I just put down the landing gear, and now it automatically lowers that to 30. So if I touch it, see, it only goes up very slowly. Does that make sense? It might be a bit much for now. Leave it in coupled, leave it in cruise, leave it in enable slowdown. You'll be fine. Now I'm supposed to be following some checkpoints out of here, which I have not been following. You can see it gave us a little diamond. So we're going to, we've raised up a little bit. So we're going to come down here and I'm going to follow these checkpoints out. Now, if you right click, it opens this nose cam view for me. It doesn't give you every bit of information that you can have in your cockpit, but it makes it a lot easier to see. Sometimes there's weather conditions and other things that make it difficult. So now it says right there to fly faster, use quantum drive. It hasn't told me to do that yet, so I'm going to stay where we are. Right now, we are in, if you will notice right here, SCM gun mode. This is kind of a slower combat speed mode with shields on. If I hit my middle mouse button, it will take me to missile mode, it will take me to scan mode, it will take me back to gun mode. The SCM is a master mode. There is a SCM master mode and a navigation master mode, and then you have sub modes within those. You have to flip back and forth between those, whether you want your shields on or your quantum drive. That will be changing as they change the flight model, but that's how it is right now. And you can see there, they're talking about cruise control. Now, if I hold down the shift button, I will hit my afterburner. You can see my speed now goes up to 460, and I can go a little faster, and that thing at the bar on the right goes down. Depending on how many pips I have into engine determines how fast afterburner recovers. Now, there's no reason for me to spiral up out of space like this. You can see I've got a nose up of about 25 degrees based on the HUD there. I can put that at 90 and go straight up if I want. Now, you will have maximum speeds based on atmosphere. As you get deeper into the atmosphere with more atmospheric pressure, you can see we're at 0.12 and dropping. That's going to determine what your max speed is. Right now, we can do our full 220, but we couldn't go hugely faster than that. We're not going to be coming in at, say, 700 meters per second into that atmosphere. The air pressure will alone, or the air friction, whatever you want to call it, will slow you down. It won't let you achieve those max speeds in atmosphere. Now, as I turn to the right, you can see my ship tilts a little bit. I can use Q and E to rotate the ship, right? So that is, let's see, you've got pitch, yaw, roll. That's your roll control. Your mouse handles your yaw and your pitch control. You can also play this with a controller or with flight sticks if you like. going to hit the afterburner to get to this one a little faster. And there we go. All right, now I need to turn on my quantum drive. Now, before I do this, well, I'm going to hit X real fast. No, I'm not. I'll hit B, hold down B. It will put us into nav mode. So nav QT, I'm going to hold X real fast because we're going to go really quickly if I don't. Now, if I hit my middle mouse button, we're going to go between QT, flight, which just takes away extra random jump points that we weren't going to see right there anyway. Scan mode. You can see we have a little scanner thing there to use our ship scanners beyond the scope of what we're doing right here, and then back to quantum. Quantum, you see that little thing on the left now goes up. That is aligning my jump to port Tressler. The little green bar on the right, this one, tells you if your engines are spooled up, and when they're spooled up, this is your computer essentially plotting the course to whatever you have in the center of the screen. In this case, port Tressler. Now, I'm going to show you that we can go faster. You can see we can go up to 1150. I'm going to hit X real fast. I'm going to put us up just a little bit. We're going 43. Show you why I generally turn it off before I warp, because I'm going to hold the left mouse button now, and we're going to warp. Notice we come out at speed. Only 8 until our quantum engine speeds up, and now we've got the extra speed. So if I come in and I'm not paying attention, I could be going 1,000 and slam into the side of a space station while I'm, having a bite to eat or whatever. So be careful about that. Now, I'm going to change, and I'm going to put my extra points into here since we got them, into engine. These change based on which mode you're in. Notice now, our shields are off and our quantum drive is up. I'm going to change this to communications. There we go. And we're going to come in here about, 500-ish. When we get close enough to ask for landing permission, it'll pop up there in that contacts. Right about 11 kilometers out, we're going to hit a zone, another armistice zone where we're not going to be able to shoot people. We don't have guns, so I can't show you that. We can hit tab to ping. That's our scanner that we talked about. We're now within that armistice zone. If we had our guns out, it would have given us a message. I'm going to hit X real fast. We're going to slow down slowly. If I hold down X, it'll use our booster to slow us down the rest of the way. See how long it takes us to slow down. It's very easy to run into stuff. I hold F4 so you can see we would have run into the station if we'd been flying along like that, right? I'm going to go ahead and ask for permission. This is cargo. There you go. If we mouse over, you can see it. We just want regular.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Okay. You can see our assigned landing bay is 3.2 kilometers up there. I'm going to move us back into combat mode, SCM, and I'm going to slow us down to, I don't know, how about 184? That way, as I make small changes to my throttle, I don't run into the ship because I'm flying through here, right? Same camera angles, right? So I'm going to go through here, and ours is going to be right over here. It won't give you that when you're in third-person view, though. You have to be here looking through your hub. And it looks like it's the one on the opposite side. It shows it on the inside, not on the outside, but I think it's this back one here. As you fly, you'll get better at this. Initially, get close to the station before you ask permission, because you only have 100 seconds to actually dock before they close the doors. So I'm going to use A and D. They will strafe me left and right, and I'm going to hit Control to strafe me down a little bit. I'm going to put out my landing gear. Remember, that's going to limit my speed to 30.
Landing gear deployed.
Right, and I'm going to come on in here, nice and slow. There's a little air curtain here, like a force field. When you hit it, you'll get some buffeting. So if you come in here too fast, you can that buffeting will last until you crash into that wall and you die. There we go. I'm going to hold X. Now, I can either hold Control and lower the ship myself, or if I'm low enough, we're at what? What are we sitting at? 15? I'm going to hold down the N key and it will automatically land me.
Inactivity. We have been forced to assign your landing zone to another
Remember?
customer.
I said we only had 100 seconds. That was them.
Landing complete.
They were going to start closing the door right there. Now we were already in, so it doesn't matter. Now we've landed using the auto land. The door's closing behind us. You don't have to worry about it. There is like a force field there, so there is air in here whether that door is open or not. I'm going to hit I to turn off the engine. You probably don't need to do this anymore, but there used to be a lot of bugs in the game, and if you walked out and bumped the ship, it could fly off without you. So we're going to then hold down Y, and this will exit the pilot seat. Now we can come back here, we can open the door, and we're going to store the ship.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval.
We'll just hit
system.
store right here,
Vehicle has been moved to our storage.
and it's going to lower it down into storage. Don't walk off this. This is not a physical barrier, it's just a hologram. You can walk through that. And then the doors will close on top of it, and our ship is in storage. Now we're going to check our journal. All right, it's up to you. You've completed your first tutorial, and notice they gave us another 40,000. What did we have before? We had 20. No, we had 10 and 50. Is that 60? Is that what we had? Do we have 20? Anyway, I think they give you 50. I think that's what they give you. So we're now up to 109,000. That's 2 rentals that we could pay for based off that, right? For a specialized ship if we wanted to. So this is the Moby Glass. We've done whatever we want to do. Completed, rewarding, ever need further? Yeah, once you venture beyond. You're interested in practice flying or combat? Okay. Your Moby Glass personal, yep. All right, what I'm going to do now is, I can, if I want, go out here, walk around the station, and see what's at this space station. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to end this episode here. This is the tutorial. I could now pull that ship back up and quantum drive back down to the planet, land at the space station. Actually, I can't. Do I still have my rental? Or do they take it away?
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
All right. We've got 2 options here. Oh, I forgot about this. Because of the UAE event going on right now, every account has a free Intrepid to use. I don't know what we're going to do with it. We'll take a look at it, but we're going to stop right now. Now I am here. I can do whatever I want here. These ships are not here. So what I can do now is I can deliver, which will move the ship to this location without a wait, and then I can have it brought up. If I'd already pulled this ship back up on the planet and then got here at another ship, I would have to make an insurance claim. And I would click here and it would say, hey, would you like to make an insurance claim? And you say yes. And it's going to say it's going to take 2 minutes or 2 hours or whatever it is for that ship for an insurance claim to show up and be delivered to the station you're at. And then you can pay a fee to expedite that, to make it faster if you want. What we're going to do is we're going to call a ship up here. And I don't know which ship we're going to fly first. I'll worry about that then. I need to go fill my drink because my throat is dry. But we will be back next time. Thanks for watching. Whoops. It's because I'm logged into that. I had the little arrow there.
Welcome.
No. Get off of that. Escape. F4. I'm trying to skin here so I can look at the camera. Even take our helmet off. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thumbs up, thumbs down, don't forget to subscribe. Next time we'll come back and I will show you what my suggestions are for your first kind of steps in the verse after the tutorial. I'll see you then. Cheers.